Okay, here's a fantastic example of an intermediate level math question. This is a great example because it's a multi-step question which requires a good dose of computational knowledge as well as a good bit of conceptual knowledge to solve. I may be biased, but I think the best way to go about developing problem-solving skills is to solve multi-step math questions. In order for a student to get the solution to this question, he or she must keep their thoughts and work organized the entire time they're solving this question. The reason I like this question so much is that it requires a student's thought process to be organized and solid throughout the entire problem-solving process. Now, what are we even solving for? Well, we're solving for the intersection of the line L and the line x plus y equals 0. So we need to know what the intersection of two lines is. Well, what does that even mean? Well, an intersection of two lines is just an ordered pair, x comma y, that lies on both lines. This makes sense because it's where one line intersects another line. Boom. So our point of intersection we must solve for needs to be on both of these lines, the line x plus y equals 0 and the line L, which can be defined by y equals mx plus b. Now the tricky part of this question is knowing how to interpret the information we're given about L in order to solve for its form so we can solve this system of equations. Now what do we know about L? Well, L contains the point 2, 7. Also, we know L is perpendicular to our first line. Now a student must use the information given about L to solve for the relevant details of it. So if L is perpendicular to the line x plus y equals 0, that means that L will have a slope that is the negative reciprocal of the slope of this line. But we need to put this line into the slope-intercept form first. So we do that by moving the x to the opposite side of the equation. So y equals negative x, which means that this line has a slope of negative 1. Knowing what we know about the slope of a perpendicular line, that means the slope of L must be 1, because 1 and negative 1 are negative reciprocals of one another. Now we take what we just learned about L and we put it into the slope-intercept form. So L is of the form y equals mx plus b. We just solve for m, which is going to be 1, the slope. Now, that reduces L to the form y equals x plus b. So we're almost there in terms of knowing everything about L. We just have to solve for b. Now, this is the next crucial step. We have to plug in the ordered pair 2, 7, which we know is part of L, to solve for b. So, plug in 2 for x, 7 for y, and we get 7 equals 2 times 1 plus b. Elementary algebra shows us that b equals 5. So now we know everything about L. Great, now we have everything we need to calculate the intersection of these two lines. Now, this boils down to nothing more than solving this simple system of equations. L is the line y equals x plus 5, and we also have the line x plus y equals 0. I'll skip the algebra, but it's very simple, and we end up with negative 2.5, 2.5, which is very easily checked. The reason I solved the entire question was to illuminate the fact that this question requires a good deal of organized thinking. At this level, math has transcended the realms of multiplication tables and long division questions. It now requires a very solid thinking skill set alongside computational abilities. I think questions like these are the questions that build strong mathematicians and strong people. That's good.